Are you looking for relief from stress, anxiety, or pain? If so, you may want to consider trying CBD. CBD is a natural compound found in the hemp plant that has been shown to have a variety of health benefits. CBD can help relax your mind and body, reduce inflammation, and improve sleep. It is also non addictive and has no known side effects. If you're interested in trying CBD, check out our website at www.hypnotizeme.com. And remember, if you're not hypnotized, then you're not doing it right. That's hypnotizeme.com, www.hypnotizeme.com for our high quality CBD products and drinks. Hypnotize Me, a sponsor of the Bossfest podcast.
It seemed like everybody want to be a boss these days. Everybody want to be a boss till it's time to pay out, you feel me? Till it's time to pay that boss cost. They ain't trying to have them tough conversations. Ain't trying to put in them extra hours, catching that windfall money, dealing with folks not being consistent. Don't get me started on the lack of sleep, but you know what they say.
Boss Life, BOSSFEST, Boss Fest Podcast. Each and every Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, guaranteed to get you right. BOSSFEST, the Boss Fest Podcast. They might make you laugh, make you mad, make you cry. Either way it go, it's a vibe. Tune in, catch the topic, get the tea. Ain't no shallow waters over here, we get deep. You sensitive, easy to offend, you need to flee. But them tough conversations gonna be happening. Boss Fest Podcast, they hold it down. Wednesday, 7 Eastern, man, it's going down. Tell a friend to tell a friend, and y'all gather round. Get active in the comments, don't get lost in the crowd.
Hey, what's happening? It's your man DJ Bush. I had to show love to Kevin and Edwina, Boss Fest Butlers. Y'all know what time it is. The Boss Fest Podcast. But you already know what we live in.
Boss Life, BOSSFEST, the Boss Fest Podcast. Each and every Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, guaranteed to get you right.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to another edition of the Boss Fest podcast. You know, I got to get it started because I'm a sound check person over here. I always want to look to the audience for the sound, but it's the best in the business now. So I ain't even worried about that. We Gucci. But I'm your boy Kevin,
I'm Edwina.
and we in this bit.
So before we get started, I just want to give you kudos. You started the show off. I ain't even had to look to you. It just surprised me. So look at you.
Well, the reason why I'm doing it is because I'm trying to be better, a little bit more engaged. But I hate the fact that you like stare at the camera for like 10 seconds and then say, hello, hello, hello. Can y'all hear me out there?
I do that because for so many episodes they couldn't hear us. So I didn't want to like start talking and the conversation get good. And then I start seeing, man, we ain't heard nothing that you said.
They'll let us know quick.
Well, either way, I am surprised that you did that. So kudos to you.
Well, that's why I'm wearing the headphones now. So I know if I'm catching the audio here, I'm good to go.
All right. So fair enough. Take your little claps or whatever. And then also before we really get into the topic, if you are catching the podcast, please share the podcast. Tonight I'm calling on all my women to get in the comments. We're gonna have a really good conversation. But if you know a chick, share it with a chick, tag a chick. Let's have the convo tonight. Because we are talking about 50-50. The internet has been blowing up about the 50-50 relationships, men and women going half on everything, and we're gonna lay it on the table.
Um,
Oh no.
no. I'm ready to jump into the topic, but I just want to first shout out to FAMU for winning the HBU championship. That's why we rock in the fam gear. You can see mine's 12-1 season, uh, swag champions, all that good stuff. So shout out to FAMU for bringing the hardware home to Florida. Great job.
Congratulations. A side note, I guess before we really get into it, anybody got a connection with fam? I'm trying to get a little senior up in there. Go ahead and slide in my DMs and let me know how I can do that. We're ready to pay some deposits, get us off in Tallahassee. So we need some assistance. If y'all know a hookup, y'all let me know.
We are manifesting what we want. Manifestation.
We about the manifestations. Yes.
Got it. All right. So the 50-50 conversation.
Yes, sir.
Why you say the internet is blowing up about it? What's so important about this 50-50 conversation? Because to me, it seems like I ain't gonna say a toxic conversation to have, but it can definitely be damaging, especially to the Black community, to even have this type of topic.
So we can't talk about it?
I'm not saying we can't talk about it, but it's just like one of those things where it's like the word woke now to me. Like somebody else has took it, hijacked it, made it something completely that it wasn't. And now we got to be accountable for the term woke. And that ain't even what it originally started out. And I think that's what this 50-50 conversation is.
I don't see how you could even take that. Like, how can you turn 50-50? We going half. Like, literally, the conversation is about relationships going half. So I don't see how you turn that into something else. Yes, the word woke was stolen from us to possibly mean something else or for them to turn it derogatory, but that's not the conversation. We're talking 50-50. So if you want to call it, let's speak half on relationships, I don't understand why it would be a problem to discuss it.
I think it can be misconstrued, especially in certain contexts. For married people, having a 50-50 conversation is pointless because nothing is 50-50. Now, if you just out there shacking up, you ain't made the commitment. Fellas, you ain't made the commitment, then yeah, the 50-50 conversation may have a little bit more at play. But
I think everything can be discussed. I want to say, so I'm going to speak from a marriage standpoint. Not all marriages or not all people who are married split everything 50-50. Or call their relationship a 50-50 relationship. But I guess a lot of the videos that I've been seeing in TikTok have been a situation where men want women to pay 50% of the bill. So we put our money in, you pay half your mortgage, I pay half the mortgage, half the lights, you get the point. Which is all well and good, because a lot of women are in the workforce now, but we don't split everything else 50-50. And that's where the internet and, I found some TikTok news. That's where people were starting to voice that out. So if men, because it does seem to be, a lot of men, and I'm not saying women don't like to go half on things either, but a lot of men were saying, hey, in today's economy, how can we not go 50-50? Things are too high for a woman not to put in and for us to fully support, which is cool, but you expect half on the support, but you're not giving half on everything else.
So what you're saying is that men want half of the financial support, but ain't putting in they half on the relationship support, the household support, kid support, things of that nature, correct?
That's correct. That's exactly what I'm saying.
So for me, I feel like this is a mute conversation to have, but especially for married people, it's only applied technically to me. For single people, because you ain't made that commitment. Because if I made that commitment to someone, then nothing we do in life is ever really 50-50. There are going to be days where I'm giving 100, you may give 0. Days you give 100, I give 0. 70-30, 60-40. Like 50-50 is never really that. And from a financial standpoint, like I think for us, we putting 100% of our finances together. So it's never I'm only putting in 50% of my finances into something. I'm putting 100% after everything's divvied out, paid, said, and done. There is no, well, you only had 200 left from your check, or I might have had 400 left from my check and that crap. So,
but everyone doesn't do that. And we've recently even discussed a plan where we don't each put 100% in the pot. So I watched a video where it talked about, and this was a financial planner, some sort, talked about how they don't agree with 50-50. And what they said, if one person makes more money in the household, then it's hard to be like 50-50. If we go 50% on the bills and someone makes less, that leaves them overall with a lot less. But the person who makes more is gaining from that 50-50 relationship. Then what happens is you start to see resentment because, hey, I'm putting in just as much as you, but I'm left with so much less. And I equate that to overall life. So, for instance, although you said, like, okay, we're talking financially, but if we're going to put in 50% of whatever the household needs financially, I think it should be okay. Well, let's split 50% of the homework duties, 50% of the laundry, 50% of the cooking, cleaning, like whatever the kids may need. And I'll even speak from our relationship. Like a lot of times you'll say things, whether it's joking or not, but you like, man, I bring home a check. So I don't got to do that. Like when we talk about right now, we're in the Christmas season, like preparing for Christmas as a parent, there's two parents in the household, but one typically does all the planning for these things. So we don't go 50% on what we're doing for the kids, whether it's birthdays or holidays. One person does that. Even though you bring a check, you don't participate in that. And a lot of times you'll say, ah, man, but I put the money in, but so did I. So that's not going 50-50 on everything.
See, and that's where I think that a lot of this stuff can be misconstrued. So I'm not putting in 50%. I'm putting in 100%. And what your issue is the planning process of it, where you may do 80% of the planning or 90 or 100%.
Okay, I wanted you to keep raising my percentages now,
I
cause
know your petty ass want all your percentages
and cookies too. Go ahead.
So right, typically in our household, Edwina is the planner.
So kudos to me.
Yay. Yes, you took on that role. It was nothing that someone said you gonna do it.
Hold on, but someone has to do it. So you saying it like there was a committee, and I said, "Hey, sir, I'll take it." But again, so you could say, "Hey, we both put in 100% of like our income into this pot." It's still two people going half on everything. So everything in this house, I can't say, "Oh man, I paid a light bill. You don't pay that ish." We both pay all the bills, and we pay them equally. But when you look at, you take finances away, we are not equal in a household.
No, you are the winner in our household.
So if we're having, let's just say, a 50-50 conversation on that, then we're only 50-50 when finances matter. So that literally means in our relationship, it doesn't become a 50-50 relationship because I carry more weight in the relationship than you do, but you get to rely on the fact that, hey, I put in things financially as though that's like a get out of jail free card.
No, but I think what happens is we think about what's happening now. And if you look at the course of our relationship, all of the years, don't say how many years, because you don't believe we've been.
Go on and say whatever you're finna say. All of the years.
So all of these years, it hasn't been equal playing field. Like I believe for the first few years, especially when you were traversing through corporate America, trying to climb the ladder, you had one of those jobs where you really wasn't here during the weekend and stuff like that. So a lot of times it would be, you would get the kids ready in the morning for school. I would come home, make sure they was good in the evening. I would prepare dinner. I would cook on one day of the weekend. You would cook one day. So it's like for like almost 10 years or something like that. That's the way the dynamic of our household.
I mean, are you trying to get like the people to sign up on your side? I don't understand. Like you're giving us one of those little sad stories. I feel like you're gonna ask us for 10 cents a day.
Nobody.
I don't.
10 cents a day.
It just feels like that's what we're going. Hey, I did all the years. Can you please send 10 cents a day to support me?
At that time, nobody was sitting there in your face talking about, oh my God, why ain't you doing more? It was, I understood.
So okay, so let's talk about that.
Gave something different at the time, which required me to give more. Now things have kind of shifted. It's a little bit different. So you can do more, give more now. So now all of a sudden it's a problem because the things
No,
you
and I'm
were
not
doing,
saying
you're
no.
still
I am
embrace.
saying it.
Yeah, that's
So, but let's talk about back in the day, because if you want to go back in the day and make sure that you get your points for that, we weren't 50-50 then. So when you were doing more in the household, I was bringing in more of the income.
that's a lie.
That's not a lie.
That is a lie.
No, that's not. That's factual.
That's not.
So hold on now. You want to talk about it? Or you
Let's
don't?
talk about it, but talk facts.
I am talking facts.
Go ahead.
So what I'm saying is there still wasn't 50-50 in that time frame. Did you do more for the house? You made it to more kids events. You were there in the evenings more with the kids. Absolutely, you were there. And then I was still there on more, from, in my opinion, the financial front, but we were still not 50-50. And the point is now we're more balanced. We're both running businesses on the side. We both income is almost level. And now the only difference is we're not 50-50 when it comes to everything else.
Man, you had 2 good summers where you made more than me, and now that you trying to act like you just carried me. Bruh, don't do that.
So to be clear, which honestly in relationships, they go up and down. So there's been points in our relationship where you completely carried me and I wasn't working, and vice versa. But
and vice versa.
Yes, because I do remember
You ain't
there
finna
was at
take-
least 4 months where you wasn't working in this relationship and I had 2 jobs.
That was a month.
No, I said 4 months. I said
you,
4
you
months.
ain't finna just make it up. That was
I'm not making it up.
So
I worked 2 jobs.
You did. You worked 2 jobs. I was transitioning, which that
Y'all,
happens.
he in his feelings now. He don't want to get facts or nothing.
I'm definitely
Like,
in my feelings.
Is we gonna be able to have a 50-50
No,
conversation,
bro,
or you gonna be
ain't-
stuck in your
I'm
feelings?
gonna be stuck in my feelings while we had this conversation.
Boy, we
I
done
was
struck a nerve with the
cooking and
50-50.
cleaning and yes, master. Let me take your shoes off as you walk through the door and sweep the floor
So
behind
if
you.
any woman, and
you
I'm
made
just
me
gonna
feel
say
like
this,
crap
I'm
for
just
that
gonna
1
say,
month.
I don't know how many women can go to work and work 1 job, much less 2 jobs, while there's just a man sitting at home playing on a PlayStation. And you did cook and you did clean, and I'm gonna be, you did that. What I envisioned in my head, and I'm just gonna be completely transparent. What I envisioned in my head was you was just playing PlayStation, coloring, and it's like, ooh, 1 + 1 = sky blue. Like, what are you doing? So that's how I envisioned it. Yes, you were cooking and cleaning, the kids were taken care of, and everything was good, but that's not the visual that I had in my head at the time.
I would like to make a point right here before the congregation. I ain't even going into the chat because I don't even want to deal with y'all right now. What I will say is this, as she hit me with that, right? So that happened for 1 month. 1 month. If she want to put 4 months on it, fine. Let me tell you what she did. So she was out of work, brought in her little brother. Both of these Negroes in the house not working at a time. And you at least think that I would come home to some peace, some similarity. I'm going to a job working hard, getting up all my money now to give it to your little brother to handle his personal stuff.
You are so in your feelings right now.
I'm so in my feelings. And also, I remember my residential evil game. I'm playing my game. I got to a certain point. All of a sudden,
it wasn't no residential evil.
What was it?
It was literally
residential evil.
It wasn't, because it was where the zombies was in the hospital, and if you say the name, I'll remember it, but it wasn't that. It was a movie that was a game, and I don't remember.
Whatever. Either way, what you saying is that I started playing my game, then all of a sudden I come back, I got a brand new save point, because not only y'all taking my money, you also taking my save space on my game and progressing it.
Right.
But we got to hear for you. I ain't asked y'all to do that.
So let's get back to the point.
Man, I'm in my feelings.
I understand. Yeah, you really are in your feelings, because you have literally gone back so many years.
You tried to make me seem like bum, and you just taking care of me.
No, so that's not, that is not at all what I'm literally just trying to paint a picture of 50-50.
You try to paint a picture of me as a bum.
So there were 4 months in our relationship, and honestly, 4-1, tomato, whatever. Okay. There was a time period where you didn't work, but there's been longer time periods that I haven't worked. In relationships, there are definitely ups and downs, and that's what I'm explaining. There's times where one of us has to carry the other. That's to be expected because we've signed up for a lifetime to be able to do this. What I'm trying to explain is when we're not experiencing an up and down, things are balanced, which we're kind of at a point now where we're almost balanced across the board, especially when you're talking financially. So if we can be balanced financially, we still do not become balanced in life because as a man, I feel like you don't think you're required to do the same level of things that I am.
That's not true.
Then why don't you?
I do.
I don't think you do. And a lot of times you will stay in conversation. If anyone is follower of the podcast,
Who cleans the house more?
If anyone is a follower of the
Don't skip it.
podcast, I was in the middle of a conversation. If anyone is a follower of the podcast, you would have heard Kevin say, "Hey man, I bring a check home. I don't have to do that. Like I put in on this." If
I
you
say I bring
that
a check.
lot.
I don't say I don't have to do this.
If you don't say it, then it's implied. That's the only reason why you would say, "Well, hey man, like I put in, like I brought the check home. I deposited the money in the account." You say that to me so much, and I'm just so used to hearing it. The reason why you would say that, it means that I've met my qualification on XYZ and check the box. Nothing else is due from me because I've done it. Then why do you say that? If you're not agreeing with me, then why do you say that?
Because I sometimes feel that you don't value the things I do. So it's like, man, I'm not like women keep scores. Like, no matter what the woman is, girlfriend, wife, side chick, whatever, they keeping a tally of all the things they do for you. Men, we ain't trying to process, ooh, you remember on Tuesday I did this. So what you do is, whenever there's conflict, I want to remind you back from the creation of time when I did this and I did this for you. And what did you do for me? And I'm like, man, I brought in the money. That's all I can think at the time.
Nah, that's honestly not how you say it. So yes, I don't know if all women keep a tally,
All women.
but I definitely
y'all
do
are
keep a
petty,
tally.
And y'all just ready to just hit people with stuff out of the blue to make them feel like they ain't doing enough.
That's not why I do it. It just, in my mind, I just have the ability to remember things that I've done. But when you bring up the fact that, hey, I brought a check in, it's not used the way that you're saying it. You literally, like on the podcast, have said things like, hey, man, like I don't have this requirement. I brought you money. Like the money's in the account. You do what you want to do with it. I'll even use it as an example, like when it's time for gift buying. You don't buy gifts for me. You like, well, the money is in the account. You do it. Like who wants to buy themselves a gift? So no.
You ask who
A lot of time because I don't need the financial support to buy a gift. I can buy my own gift, but the point is that it was your thought. So what I'm saying to you, if we remove the financial responsibility, if you no longer have the ability to call on the fact that you bring a check in, do we split life 50-50? And
no.
Right, we don't.
But that don't mean you doing 70 and I'm doing 30. There were periods of time when I was doing 80, you was doing 20.
Right now.
But I'm not trying to keep score. But you
right now in your life, where are you? Where are you right now? You have the ability to do whatever. So where would you present yourself right now?
Right now, I say we probably about 60-40. You doing about 60, I'm doing about 40.
I wish I could fall out right now, but I'm on the podcast. I wish I could fall out.
See, that's why we ain't gonna ever have credit for doing stuff, man, because
we as in like all men included with
man.
you?
Yeah, bro, because women just be devaluing us. And even when we say, all right, man, here's the facts, but what you do today. Like, I get it.
I'm not gonna say what you do today. All I'm saying is I'm not a fan of 50-50.
Neither am I.
I feel like as a man, you should cover a larger percentage. If you like to say, I'm going to tell you, If you like to call on the fact that, hey, I brought home a check, then you cover 60 or 70 of the financial weight, because I'm going to cover more of the household weight.
So my wife deals with the kids. And the reason why that is prevalent is because it's like kids know if they go to mommy, mommy is more likely to say yes or have empathy to whatever it is they want to do and things they want to get. Daddy typically is like, no, hell no,
That's
get away
not
from
why.
me. It is why.
That's not why. We on the podcast, I think we talked about it a little bit last week. And there were other fathers on the podcast, and other mothers, and agreed that they still have the same dynamic. So every kid isn't like, oh, blah, blah, blah.
That sounds like the dynamic. Like the father is placed as the authoritarian in the household, and you don't really want to deal with the law. So
I don't think that's what it is.
it's like you, the attorney, like, hey, is it okay if I can do this? I know you said that might be against the law, but what'll happen if, just in case? And I'm like, the judge is like, guilty.
No, the reason why, like, you don't respond, you're not speedy with a response. Even when you do give a response, it's still not always clear on the response. And if they can get a direct response, it's typically not even what they ask. Like, hey, can I go here? But yeah, you can go here, but I need you to do this for me. Your things are not typically like yes and no.
You mean like, yes, you want to go to your friend's house? That's fine. Make sure your room is clean or take the trash out?
No, that's not what I mean. But
explain.
So, like, you've said things like, yeah, you can do this, but I need you to go to the store for me, or just whatever. I'm just using it as an example. It's just not always very clear.
So if I got a kid that can drive, I'm like, yeah, you can go do that.
Right, but you're
we'll
just
go ahead and bring something back from while you out running errands.
What you're doing is just justifying what your response is. So the end result is what you said, is that I take care of more of the kid things, but you say kid things as though it's very minute. It's a lot. It's what they do, their grades, it's the homework, it's the making sure they have clothes, whether it's washing, it's a lot of times planning the dinner, it's the grocery shopping.
Let's be for real. Neither one of us helping them with that homework. That junk is just ridiculous. Can't do the boxes with the numbers around it, and our daughter's in an IB program, and she's learning theories of mathematical planetary stuff.
Okay, well, let's say that. But yesterday she had a question about Excel, and I was like, oh, you know what? Daddy uses Excel at work. She came and asked Daddy, and Daddy said, Google it. And I said, don't worry, I use Excel as well. I can help you. But the point is, when they come to you, it's not like you're open to help. You literally are just like, here, do this other thing.
Fair enough. I'll give you that one. But it's like, ooh, Daddy, can you help me set up Excel? Sure, I can do that. What she came and said, Daddy, have you heard of Plato's theory with the Excel?
No, she didn't. I told her all she was trying to do is change the cell, the format of the cell, which I literally
she
could
came
show her.
I need to know the isosceles formula for
okay,
Excel.
You're just doing too much. The point is, that is not what she said.
All right, bro.
The point is that yes, I definitely deal with more of the household things, because I don't want to just say kids. I'm saying household. Our day-to-day lives run and function because I typically am handling that. For the bulk of our relationship, I've also handled the finances. So you have been able to say, hey, here's my whole check, divvy that up and do whatever. But it doesn't make us 50-50, because I still feel like there's more weight. I am saying to you, I'm putting it on the table. I don't like the 50-50 relationship. If you want to keep saying, hey, man, I'm bringing the money and I'm the man and rah, that's cool with me. You can have all of that. I want to have a lesser piece of the financial pie.
Didn't say that.
Because I'm already going to be responsible for a larger piece of the household pie.
Cool, we can do that. But as I've stated to you before, the way that you manage finances isn't the way that I would manage finances.
That part's fine. That's
You
not
keep
even up for
saying that.
debate. What we're talking about is 50-50. Because like when you think about 50-50, like so if it's in a dating relationship and they go out and it's like, hey, the check is $20. You got to put your 10 in and I put my 10 in. That's a very clear drawn 50-50. I don't think that should happen in the dating world. If a man is courting a woman, the man should pay for the date. That's how I feel about it. Now, once you become more serious or stuck where we are, I still feel like the man should cover the woman a little bit more. I'm not saying we shouldn't put anything in, but I don't agree with us being 50-50. I want to feel like, hey, my husband has more responsibility as far as finances go. Like he got me. Once we become 50-50, I kind of feel like, if I just cover a little bit more, I got this. I don't want to feel like that. I want to feel like you as the man have me. Is that wrong? That's what I believe.
You make it seem like no one has you.
No, but you like to go to like the complete extreme of everything. I
Nobody
make it
wants to-
seem like
Right.
so now you a loser on here.
you
Nobody has me.
You talking
You put me in a
absolutes.
box.
You
I'm
talk-
not talking
You
absolute.
talking absolutes all
I'm
the
not
time.
talking
You do.
absolutes.
And I love like, listen, man, just say, you know what? Yes, I can cover this, but we can see it this way and do things like that. You like, man,
You feel like it's no one on the podcast thinks that you got me outside in a box with a little blanket and you don't have me. No one thinks that.
you think that. The people listen to you, you homeless.
All right, well, let me start doing my song that you was about to do. If you would like to give 10 cents,
10 cents
a
to
day
Edwina.
to help me get out of the box, please send that to the Bossfest Cash App.
For 25 cents a day, you can help Edwina move out of the comforts of a 2-story home, 4-bedroom, 4-bath.
You don't need to be putting our business out there. I said a box.
Because she calls it a box.
No, what I said was no one thought you had me in a box because you feel like I'm just like coming for your manhood. No one is doing that. We're explaining the facts. So take yourself out of it then. So you don't got to be in your feelings because like the way you in your feelings right now, I'm about to get like a tissue. So let's just remove our relationship from it. So you don't got to be in your feelings.
Move our relationship so I ain't in my feelings with you and your Trump facts. I'm about your TikTok facts.
Fair enough. So let's just talk about not a marriage, but a dating relationship. Do you feel like a man and a woman should be 50-50?
Absolutely. In this day and age, the way women try to play on stuff and put unrealistic expectations on what a man's supposed to do for her. Yep, sure do. At least until I determine if you somebody I really want.
So in today's economy, that just sounds crazy to me. Like
in
that,
today's world, yes. I think that the modern woman has unrealistic expectations on what the first courting process looks like. Like it was just a list going around talking about some of the 25 restaurants not to take somebody on the first date. I'm like, man, these sound like some great quality restaurants. I don't even know you. This is the time I'm trying to get to know if you somebody I can have an interaction with. Will you be that one? And you trying to tell me I automatically gonna take you to a 4-star, 5-star restaurant, spend $300, $400 to prove that I got it?
So I don't agree with the caliber of a restaurant. I think when you're getting to know someone, you should kind of be in different settings. That's whether you're going to just a pizza joint, going out to different places. Because how can you truly get to know someone if it's just, fine quality dining? But I do think if you're courting a woman, it shouldn't be like, I got to be prepared to pay my half. Now, wait, let me say that again. I don't feel like it should be a requirement to pay my half. As a woman, I do need to be prepared. If all else fails, I got me, but I don't think that should be automatically understood that we going out. And in the same aspect, I'm not going out to be like, how expensive can I make this for you? Because
Fair enough.
What?
I'm just saying. So I'll give you that. If we're courting, we're going out. I would assume that you're going to have some type of decorum about yourself and understand that this is a meeting. We're trying to see if we're compatible and things like that. You're not gonna automatically try to break the bank to
Right.
see how much I can pay for and if I'm willing to pay for it. So then you can call me bum and all that stuff. So if that's the play, then sure. I'll be like, no, put your money away. I got this. But sure, if you want to go get 3 steaks, 2 lobsters, the shrimp, you want the bottle of Dun P, then
I
you
think
then
you
you
should
start
watch
blinking.
the type of woman you're attracted to, because the women of that would do that type of thing is probably a different caliber of woman. But a regular woman who's looking to know someone and be on a different type of level isn't going to instantly come to the table to be like, oh, what can I get out of this? Like, that isn't even like all of this, a duck, a lobster. Like, be for real. That's just ridiculous. But I definitely think
I see this every day on your TikTok news.
right, but that's on TikTok. So how few and far between. Like, we live in such a fake social media world. So if you're talking about regular people dating, how often does that really happen?
I have no clue. All I know is that from the single men that I have interacted with and spoken to, and they've kind of spoke on these things, the dating market isn't really fun for them, and they want to be with somebody that values them and truly want to be with them, and not want to be with them because of what they think they can get out of.
Right. And I think that that works the same for a woman. I just think so when you're talking about like being in your soft girl era, right? I would want a man to court me. I would want to feel like we go out and he has me. I would love for a man to say, "Hey, you know what? Don't worry about, let's say, paying for your nails. I got this." Not that he has to, or it's an expectation, and I don't want $200 nails, but it's the point that he thought about me enough to do something nice. And I'm just using nails as an example because you can insert, whatever. Let's go get a pedicure or what a massage. But when you're talking about 50-50, it takes those niceties out because you got to think about how much do I owe? We went to the pedicure place. Was my pedicure 40? Let me cash up you my 40 on that. I just don't agree with 50-50, whether it's dating or marriage. I think the financial burden or more of it should fall on the man.
I think if we're dating, the first couple of interactions should be Dutch. If I'm pressing you real hard, then maybe that can be something different. But I just think that the way society is set up, nobody want to feel like they're getting used. Like no dudes wants to feel like, hey man, this chick is only here because I'm gonna pay for dinner and stuff like that. And you want to see what happens after those interactions. Or that chick that hits you up and be like, ooh, can we go on a date? But after the date, you don't talk to them no more until the next time they want to go on a date. So if that's the energy they bring in, then yeah, you can go ahead and prepare to pay for them first, maybe just the first time. After that, once we see that the energy is real, then we can look at something different. That's just my opinion. I don't care what the
So
cat got to
let's
say about it.
say that we agree in this conversation that you feel like the man should hold more of the financial burden, whether it's in dating or in marriage.
I think statistically, it's proven that the man has to carry more of the financial burden. Um, Statistically, we make more. I know there are a lot more professional.
Let's say you
women.
don't because you use the statistics, but you're not just straight up answering the question. So let's say in the relationship, the woman makes more. What I'm asking you is in this conversation, do you agree that the man should hold more of the financial weight in the relationship?
If I'm Todd and you Candy, all I'm saying is that I'm gonna make sure the household look real good. I'm gonna make sure these kids are
What
good.
does that
It
mean?
means that if she making millions and I was making thousands, maybe a few thousands, then there's no way in hell that I can match financially. There's no way.
I mean, you tried to use Todd and Candy, so
It was just something that people could identify.
right. So
easily
let's
with.
let's talk about that. Maybe when they got together, he couldn't match her hustle. But the point is, I mean, in that relationship is let's build together so you can. I don't think he's no longer just the camera guy, where he's only getting thousands. They're starting to, he's leveling up. I know we still probably will. He's leveling up a little
According
bit.
to her mama.
Well, I mean,
I'm just saying.
her mama ain't gonna never, neither here nor there. What I'm asking you is outside of that, like, because you're going from like one extreme to the other, but you're not really answering the question.
What was the question?
Do you agree with the fact that the man should hold more of the financial burden?
I already said yes to that.
No, what you said was statistics say da 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 da.
Right,
I wanted to know what Kevin's opinion was.
Yes. I believe the man should hold more of the financial burden. Absolutely. I believe the new day and age, it can't be the man pays all the bills and the woman take care of everything in the household. I think both incomes are needed to be successful, and both people are needed to make sure the household can function, because there's so many things happening now. So I think it depends on the season. But financially, I think the man should always carry more of their burden.
All right. So now that we've checked that box finally, that took us all of like 40-something minutes just to get you to agree.
That only took 2 minutes.
So now when you talk about the household weight, when you come to families, I do agree that the women typically take the lead in that. So they carry more weight as that goes, as far as like bearing the children, taking care of the children, and overall household.
Oh, you said bearing. I thought you said burying. Like, why they gotta die? My fault. I'm back. Did anybody else hear burying? It wasn't just me. No, okay. I'm sorry. Continue. My fault. My bad. Come back.
No, because that was just so like, what?
It threw me off.
Doesn't even make. Anyway, so women typically are more nurturing, so they typically would lead in the household, whatever it is, because it's whether you have children or not, it's still like women tend to just make sure the household overall is okay more than men. But I still feel like men need to play their role in the household. So
agreed. No disagreement there.
All right. So what I'm saying is, if you're going to be 70% financially responsible for everything, then we could do like a 60-40 the other way.
Okay.
I'm glad that you agreed on that so easily.
I think we kind of emulate that. You just don't give credit to my 60. I mean, my 40.
I was like, hold on, you're not getting this.
My 40.
See, you
don't give credit to my 40. And I think that's the problem. You don't recognize my 40. I recognize your 60.
So you put yourself back in. I'm just using it as overall example, because when you put yourself in there, then your feelings get hurt.
Fair enough. All I'm stating is that I don't think women recognize the 40% that the men be doing. And it's always looked upon like we ain't doing nothing, but we are. We are doing things. We're addressing stuff. I don't think it's any situation where a woman is completely cleaning, washing, cooking, and doing all this stuff.
Yeah, there's a ton of single moms out there.
Single. We talking about relationships.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about Okay, I'm just saying. So you said no situation, so it instantly made me think about the single mothers and stuff out there. But if we're talking in relationships, I don't want to say
whole conversation been about relationships.
Listen, bro, I said okay. 50-50. You just had me burying children, so like
that's what you said.
That is not at all what I said.
She said burying kids. It's okay.
Please stop saying that.
Go ahead. We back.
No, man, because I be needing to pause for your foolishness for just like a second.
Man, we got an hour. Stop pausing.
So what I am saying is that's not true. So some men really still feel like I don't have to do nothing around the house. Some men feel like the woman needs to put in 50% of her check or 50% of the bills, but still needs to cover 100% of everything in the house. I'm not speaking of our house. I'm just saying not all men agree that they should have to pitch in as well.
How many men have you spoke to that said that?
TikTok news lets me know.
Damn.
TikTok news lets me know that is definitely out there.
How many men that you personally know?
Would you like me to go speak to a lot of men and do a poll?
No, but you interact with different men. Do you think that these men who are
I don't
maybe
interact with no different men.
okay. Let's see. You I could
All
drop
right.
you.
Okay. So I may speak to a man or two here or there. I
Fair
haven't
enough.
done a poll, so we're just gonna say
Okay,
there
so
has been no
so
question.
based off the men that we know that are in marriages or relationships and things like that, because we can say we know them. Do you believe that they run their household like I pay all the bills and I shouldn't be responsible for anything in the household?
Not the men that run in our circle, but you
So you
typically
know
run with
nobody.
people
So
who
don't give
have
hypotheticals.
similarities
Don't
of
give
you.
hypotheticals.
I told you I got this from TikTok news. I'm not giving a hypothetical. I'm telling you, this physically came up on my feed. I was intrigued by it.
Right.
So some men may think I don't personally know the men, so you don't got to do that. That they go to work and once they come home, they now are given the pass to be able to relax. They had a long day out in the world. They don't need to do anything else. I come home, dinner is ready. I'm going to eat. I'm going to relax. I'm going to go to bed for another day at work.
And these are working class men. These aren't like entrepreneur, high value type men that are defined as high value, meaning they're making over what 150,000 a year.
No, I'm going to say these are working class men. And the reason why I say that, why I categorize that is let's say um higher level earners have the ability to then insert things to make your life more comfortable. So maybe they're not putting in the household, but they've provided a nanny, they provided a cleaner, so that way it takes more of the stress off both partners, and that may now be a chore that neither one of them have to do because you're able to pay someone.
I'm with you. I just want you to speak and not hypotheticals. Like, and you be giving us TikTok news like somebody, like you just see it every day in life. Like, that's something that typically is going to be false information,
TikTok don't
misleading,
always be false information.
misleading
Like it's
information.
like you're saying everything on TikTok is just not true.
I'm saying a lot of things on TikTok are intended to be over exaggerated. Yes.
Okay, so then I'm gonna put that out to the people. Does anyone know of a man who feels that way? I go home, I don't want to do anything else. I go to work, I work, I come home. That's what I'm doing. That's it. I think we've all known someone like that at some point. You're asking me, do I know them now to be able to recall? I don't, but I'm pretty sure I've known somebody.
We ain't talking about your grandpa.
No, but you could be talking about my father. Like it doesn't have to be that far removed, but we all know like the households we grew up in. I don't remember my dad doing chores and like cleaning and washing and stuff. I don't remember that.
Your dad a different era. Like you was conceived from old sperm. Like it's a whole different era. My bad. My bad. I'm sorry. Bring it back. Bring it back. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Like sometimes I just really don't understand. But the point is, a lot of times men behave like they saw their fathers, or stuff is a learned behavior. So let's just assume I'm saying in my household, I didn't see that growing up. There could be other men, my age group, that didn't see that as well. So they behave on what they saw. I see a lot of things from you that I believe is learned from your parents.
Fair enough. But statistically,
oh my God, you didn't get no statistics. I don't know why you keep saying that.
Kids are raised in single parent households, single mother households. So they learned this from their mother in a single parent household.
You weren't raised in a single mother household.
Right. And neither do I think you should do all the household stuff and I do all the financial stuff. I don't think that. There's been plenty of times where it's like, ooh, daddy, well, you make it, whoever makes it home first, dude, cook.
And do daddy intentionally not make it home first so he don't got to cook?
We ain't talking about me. We're making this personal again. We ain't talking about
no,
me.
but I mean, now you don't want to make it personal. But so you use that example and you like, I have no problem with doing it. Whoever makes it home first cooks. And that is the rule in our house. Whoever gets off work first cooks so that our kids get dinner at a decent time frame. Now, have there been several days where it seems like, how did you not make it home first? Yes.
So I got it. I hear what you're saying, but we take different journeys back and forth. So for me, my journey is a little bit longer than your journey. So
This
if
is
we
true,
got
but
off, so if
what's your schedule? 7 a.m. to 2?
hell no.
What's your schedule?
If I was going in my original schedule, it would be like 5 a.m. to 2
Okay,
or
so
3.
5 a.m.
But
to 2,
I'm not
2
doing that
p.m.
anymore. It
No.
adjusts.
Let's use the schedule that you said. You going at 5 p.m.
If I am,
to 2.
if I am,
I work 9 to 6.
I hear you.
So there means that there should be no day during the week
When was
that
the
you
last
who
time
get off
I
at 2.
work 5, except for doing inventory. That's the only time I get up 3 o'clock, 2 something in the morning. So I'm there at the building to do inventory. Any other time, we both waking up at the same time. You literally can drop the
So
kids off.
y'all, like, we
So
really just can't
listen,
make it
listen,
past the us
listen.
conversation. So here we go.
No. So you literally can, I can leave for work. You can literally drop the kid off, come back home, get yourself ready for work, make it to work before I even make it into my building, even though I left technically before you because of where my job is located.
Yes, that's absolutely true. I'm glad that you brought that up because, like, since we're throwing us in here,
We
all
always
the time,
do, all the time. Welcome to the Bossfest podcast, where we constantly throw ourselves out there.
So what you said is, so if we split the household duties, I wake up, from the time I wake up, I never stop moving throughout the day. So I wake up, I instantly get our kid together. You wake up, you don't even think about the kid. You wake up, you look on Facebook, you look at some scores, you maybe send a text or two off, fix yourself some breakfast. I don't know, you sit on the couch and breathe for a little bit. It just be a nice start to a morning for you.
I'm gonna start breathing in.
And then you head off to work. For me, I wake up, I run, get the kids together, fix them breakfast, fix the lunch box, run, get them outside to go to school. The point is, like, if we really share things 50-50, you could at some point say, hey, what do you need help with? How could I support in this? Before we do that, then I still get home before you somehow, and then start running, make the dinner, pick the clothes out for school the next day. If we need some help with homework, talk to them about whatever nonsense they got going on, get myself together for the night, and then go to bed so I can do it all over again. You are then somehow able to come home after you got off at 2, didn't make it home till 4, and sit at the table and wait for me, who's cooked, done everything for the kids, and then be like, you gonna fix my plate?
See, it's like that TikTok shit where we just over exaggerate one incident or something.
That's every day.
That is okay. Whatever. I see. We want to just lie tonight.
We
It's
just
okay.
lying.
Yeah,
we just
bro,
lying.
we just want to lie.
Oh my god.
We don't
just
want to be
lying.
truthful. Like God don't like that. I'm just saying. God know you better than that, and he is upset. He disappointed.
We're just talking about this 40% that you put in the household. All I'm saying is today's woman is tired. So if we're going to define the roles and like what men put in, like, I understand that it's a lot out there, but y'all are no longer just going to work and bringing home the money and we're just home. We're working too.
And nobody thinks that.
Sometimes we work more hours than you and we still don't get a break. So we still take care of the house, meaning that the woman does in the hours of the day 10 times more work than what you do.
Gotcha. You can have it. I'm not even gonna debate it. You got it. Because it's like TikTok
in
rules.
This podcast, I have checked to make sure the kids can make it home from work. Everybody's doing what they need to do. They ask me a question, I still answer it. You look at me and you be like, what you doing? I'm handling the household. That's what I be doing over here. Like, I just feel like as a man, it's so easy for you. And you get to be like, I brought a check home.
Okay.
You feel offended by something that I said?
Yeah, bro, because you saying I responded to a text message and now I save the world. Ain't nobody trying to believe in that bullshit. The kids got to get home safe. They upstairs.
They are not upstairs. You have one that's at work. So I'm literally like, okay, what time are you getting off? What's the plan
8:30.
to pick you up? The point is, sometimes you have to.
And it's already a plan in place for him to go. To get
Sometimes
get him on.
you have to coordinate with them. Sometimes they ask questions. You saw my phone go off. You saw a kid text me.
I don't even think that was a kid. I think that was one of your friends talking about some other stuff, and you over here jeopardizing our podcast business to play on your phone. If you want to play solitary on your phone during the podcast, that's fine.
I don't even have a game on my phone.
Just don't even front.
That's another thing. I don't even have time for games on my phone. You will not find one game, but you got 53,000 because you get to wake up in the morning and you get to just play a game. Like, hey, such a nice morning. Let me play Bubbles. Boop, 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 boop.
You is not going to insult the Bubbles. That is a great game. It's a stress reliever, and you're not going to do that to me. Don't be petty. Don't be petty. You better than that. Jesus don't like that. I'm just saying, Jesus don't like that. Don't do that.
So I guess what I want to say as we wrap things up, because at least we were able to agree that neither one of us agree with 50-50.
Right.
I
want you to fix my percentages. Because you got me out here at 5%, that you at 95.
No, I said 40.
But you don't even want to give me credit for that. You said, oh man, if you're doing 40, that's cool. Then you mad about the 40 you gave me because you feel like it ain't enough. So what you want me to do?
I want you to not be able to decide when you want to give 40. So, and what I mean by that is you give 40 when it's convenient for you to give 40.
That's a lie.
It's not a lie.
It's a lie.
I just explained to you a morning
Today
routine.
I gave about 95. You gave 5, but I ain't sitting here talking about some. You only gave.
I don't know what 95 you gave, but I was out of the household. So I guess if we percentage it like that, then I gave 95% of the income then, and you gave 95% of home. I don't understand. What I'm saying to you is the same way I describe the morning routine, then sometimes I need help. And I'll just call on this on all men, like recognize when your counterpart needs assistance and be there to support. So you can't decide, oh, I'm off on Saturday, so now here's where my 40% applies. Give 40% when it matters. Like when it's a rough day, it's throughout the week. Things are like whatever.
40%. Like I may give 80%. So because you can only give 20. But you know what the issue is? The real issue is?
What's the real issue?
Maybe I only got 30%, but I'm giving you 100% of that 30%, and you're not happy.
How do you give somebody 100% of 30?
It's possible. I like the way I put that together. I might only got 30% to give you today, but I'm going to give you 100% of that 30. Put that on
I feel like today's men
what?
Just use a lot of excuses. Like, I just want you to step up and do a little bit more. I want y'all to.
Here we go. Devaluing the man. Black women love to devalue black men as if like we just don't do nothing for our women. Boy, I swear to Lord. Listen, God, I know. I know. You gave us these women and we got to deal with them. And we do. We appreciate it, Lord. But, bruh, we need a little assistance.
And I'm not talking about all men. I'm literally just saying that you got to step outside of the norm and you got to put extra into it. Like in today's climate, the same way we're saying that, things have gone up, women are more stressed, like relationships become more stress applied. The norm, day-to-day BS no longer can stand. You have to be able to do a little bit more.
Fair enough. All I'm saying is that recognize the stuff we're doing and don't devalue it. Because if you're constantly devaluing, how likely am I to now say, oh man, let me give more or do more? It's just the same principle you do at work. You see an employee, they trying, they may be struggling. Maybe they ain't getting it completely the way you like it, but you see that they putting forth the effort. You don't go over there and just try to tear them down like you ain't doing shit. What you say is, oh man, I see you putting in the work. This might be a better way for you to be more productive for us. and get a little bit more value, which helps you out. But what women do is, if it ain't exactly the way they want it or how it's getting done, it's just a complete dismantlement. Like, oh man, you ain't doing nothing and da 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 da. Y'all still live in absolutes. Women, stop living in absolutes.
Stop letting your feelings be tied to what you think are absolutes. If an employee was failing at work, what I would say is, hey, I see the effort. I can appreciate that. This is not how it should be. Let me show you the right way. Men don't typically want to be shown the right way. So I don't think you can use the employee relationship as an example. What I do want to say though is
I
the
like my
30% that you put in that may have been okay 10 to 12 years ago is like 5% now. So you got to up your game. Like you can't keep giving the same percentage and being like, oh yeah, I don't get a cookie for that. Like, no, not when a woman keeps having to add more to her plate and you just get to stay at your same percentage. Like you have to level up too.
I'm gonna say it one more time for the fellas. We got to come together and be strong, because these women will not give us credit for what we do. No matter how much you do for them, give them, allow for them to be their great, beautiful selves. They're all like
it feels like you low key
no,
trying to
man.
like sell me out
I'm
or
just telling you,
something.
man. It's like they went to class for this shit. I was like, one of their high school requirements was to like how to devalue men 101. Like it was like half a credit. I don't know why, but women love to do that shit. Let me just devalue you. It's like if I give you too much praise, then it's gonna go to your head. So I don't need this shit going to your head. But oh man, I saw you did all those things. But there's one thing you didn't do. It just fucked up all that other shit you did. And that's what women do.
It feels like you trying to like low key come for me.
No, I'm talking about all women. All women out there. I got this from TikTok. I got that from TikTok.
Oh, you amuse me. So I guess we'll see in the comments what everybody else thinks. I'm glad that we could agree that 50-50 is not where we want to land. We can agree to dispute the percentages. I can understand the need to not speak in absolutes, as long as you can understand the need to give more than your 30% on a lot of days, more than just a few. And that's really all I got. So I'm happy that for once we've agreed.
Mark it in the calendar, because these are few and far between. Even though we agreed, it hurt. But this is a painful agreement.
I think it was a conversation that needed to be had. Like,
it was.
We thank y'all for hanging in there with us as we went through our debate and have even solved some things, I feel like, in our own household. So I'm excited.
I'm traumatized.
So how you want to leave the people, since you're going to leave this podcast and cry, I guess?
I'm going to start a support group for men called We Stick Together. And what we're going to do is we're going to have to be a support for each other, because these women ain't going to give us none of our credit. So when you come to the support group, make sure you have your notes down, what the things you did for the day or for the week. And other men, we just going to be like, bruh, I see you. You did your thing. We love you. The support group, we putting it out there. I'm just saying.
You always want to start something that you ain't never going to start.
True.
Maybe you should leave that in 2023. Stop starting and never start. Like, pick something, stick with it, and let it grow. Consistency. That should be your key word here. But for me, I appreciate everyone joining us another Wednesday for the Bossfest podcast. I will see everyone Friday as I rant about Kevin and his nonsense. I'll probably talk about consistency. So I'll see y'all Friday at 7. And until then, next week.